Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
Hi, I'm Monica Weitzel, the host of Community Hotline, MetroEast's flagship program for well over 20 years. Each week we share stories about good people doing good things in your community. This week's show begins with the Seroptimus International of Gresham. The local Seroptimus Club will be promoting this year's annual Teddy Bear Parade, their biggest and most popular fundraiser. Then we'll talk about the Portland Latin American Film Festival. This annual event grows each year and is a must-see for film buffs in this region. Stick around to find out what's planned for their 2019-2020 film season. It's all coming up next on Community Hotline. Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Tonight we have the Seroptimus International of Gresham on the show as our first guest. And the Seroptimus have been around for a very long time. The Seroptimus of the Americas, right, has been around since 1921. Yeah, that's a long time. Mm-hmm. And then the club here in Gresham since, what, 1970 something?
77.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And that's a very long time as well, over 40 years. So it's really nice to have you here. I'm proud to be a member of the Seroptimus, even though I've been so busy. It's been hard to get to some of the events and meetings, but you always welcome me back when I come, so I really like that.
We're in your heart anyway.
Thank you. Yes. And I will be there at the Teddy Bear Parade this year, and that's what we're going to mostly talk about today, because that's a big event, not only for the Seroptimus, but really for all of Gresham.
For the community.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. So first of all, before we get going, a lot of people don't know what the Seroptimus are, and the name is like, what is that? So if one of you could just tell me a little bit about what the mission is of Seroptimus and what the heck that name means.
Well, it's a coined name, I know that, and it means best for women. And they always have their goal, and their mission has always been to do the best for women and to support women and girls.
And you know, it's kind of another year of the woman. Now, you know, I mean, there was one like in, I don't know, the 70s or something. Mm-hmm. This is the year of the woman. But with the Me Too movement and all the and just a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world, it really has become clear that women need to really step up and advocate for themselves and for each other. Right. And I think the work that Seroptimus does, that they do, is really crucial as far as that goes. So. One of the things that as a club you do is to raise money for programs that you have. And the Teddy Bear Parade funds the Live It, Be It program, or Live Your Dream program, right?
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about that so people have an idea what that money goes to.
Well, the Live Your Dream program gives cash grants to young women who are the sole provider for their family, and they are trying to finish their education so they can have a job and a career. And we give cash grants instead of scholarships because they have other sources for scholarships, but when you're struggling, you're a single parent, to have some money to pay an electric bill, or when the car acts up, or child care, or books, things that aren't covered, cash grants make a big difference.
Well, those things can set you off the track of your education.
Absolutely.
You can't get to class because your car's broken down, or you don't have childcare, something like that.
So,
And right now is when the Live Your Dream program is in progress, where we're taking our applications for these awards. And they can get these applications online or through some of the schools in the area, meaning Mount Hood Community College. We'll be getting in touch with them, and they will have applications and that sort of thing.
So these are women who are going back to school, or going to school, or going back to school, either one, who have kind of overcome obstacles in their lives to get there, right?
Very serious obstacles, most of them, and they're head of their household, as she indicated. And they realize that in order to provide a better life for their children and themselves, they have to have a higher paying job, and they know they have to have an education to be able to get that.
Right.
and it isn't always a college education. It can also be trade schools.
Oh, yes, trade
which
schools.
provide wonderful opportunities for careers. And so we like people to
Explore something that they'll be passionate about and enjoy, but can make a living wage.
And we're actually going to be giving 4 awards again this year, and the highest award's $4,000. So that is very good. I mean, when you can use that money for pretty much anything that you need to make your life easier, it makes it so much better for you.
Yeah, it does. Now, I have to back up because I'm really embarrassed. I haven't introduced you yet.
That's okay.
we're well known around town. No.
Well, you are. But,
I don't know about that.
so, Optimist members, Patricia Smith, you are the president this year again.
Yes, I am.
And Peggy Johansson, you're the teddy bear parade chair again. You've done it how many? Is this the third, fourth year? Fourth year.
Fourth year.
Do it so well, we just keep back there.
Yeah. Well, nobody else raised their hand.
Well, and, it's a huge job.
It is a big job. We have broken it up into committees more so now than we had before, and so there is a lot of support from 4 or 5 other gals who take on like the volunteer committee and those kinds of things. So tell us a little bit about the history of the parade here in Gresham. Okay. Well, the parade was started 37 years ago. By the Downtown Association. Pat Fiedler was one of the main people to get it started. She had Toy Bear in downtown Gresham, and she and the downtown group ran it, organized it for 10 years, and then 27 years ago, the Seroptimists took over the organization of it, and we have done it ever since. It has been a friend-raiser since
like
day one.
Community building kind of event, right?
Yeah, and about 6 years ago, we decided, well, maybe we could also make it a fundraiser. So now we have a friend-raiser and a fundraiser rolled into one. And thanks to so many community partners, it has been a very successful fundraiser for us. That's what allows us to give our monies to the Live Your Dream program that we were talking about, and other programs that we have, like the Dream It Be It program. And so, one company that I would like to, we would like to say thank you to in a big way is Weston, Buick, Kia, GMC. They have been our presenting sponsor since we made it a fundraiser 6 years ago, and they continue to step up every year. And they provide other things like vehicles for our dignitaries and people to ride in parade.
They're very, very active in the community. Great supporters.
my.
Quiet,
Yes.
you know, behind the
Right.
scenes, and they
Right.
just do it. So yeah, many thanks to
they're
them.
the last ones who would want you to say thank you, but thank you.
Yes, and they deserve every
Yeah.
bit of the thanks. So really, that was one of the smartest things I think Mr. Optimist ever did, was to make that a fundraiser, because that makes perfect sense. That parade is an institution in Gresham. When I first started working out here, it's like, a teddy bear parade, really? What is that? You know, I'm thinking this little tiny little parade, and it's huge. It's huge.
We have approximately 2,000 participants in the parade.
Wow.
We usually have 80 to 90 actual entries, but so
Those
many
are
of
groups.
them, groups, many of them are schools, because almost every local grade school, Gresham Barlow School District grade school is in it, and they will have anywhere from 50 to 100 people show up,
parents
students show up, and of course their parents walk with them too, or whatever, and then of course we have all of the people on the sidelines watching, the spectators, and that has grown also.
Right, and it is the greatest thing in the world to go down there and look down Main Street and see all these families sitting on the curbs, and all the kids are holding their teddy bears. They bring their teddy bears to watch it.
Exactly.
It's really, really cute.
And we actually do every year ask the participants to bring, if they have the ability to do that, bring slightly used or new teddy bears,
Like
quote
these
unquote,
cute little
like
ones
these
right
little
there.
guys right here, or quite often it's something other than a teddy bear, and we give those to the trauma prevention program.
Intervention program, right?
Excuse me.
TIP.
TIP.
That's a great organization.
Yeah, and so we give them, I can't even tell you how many every year.
boxes.
And so that's when there's like some sort of a crisis, like there's been an accident and somebody was killed, or there was
or they have to take a child out of a home or something like that. They have this beautiful little animal to hug,
that the
and
child
there's
can
nothing like that.
That's not one you've had since you were.
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, he's too good in too good
he's
shape
too good
for
a shape.
that.
He's too good a shape.
Yeah.
I think the teddy bear parade is always fun, and I think maybe we should take a look at a little video of something. I think it was last year's parade.
Okay.
Just to give people an idea who haven't participated in it or watched it, what they could be missing and what they should see this year.
Thank you.
Well, let's go ahead and roll that now.
There it is.
Almost looked like the same
Yeah,
bears
I was
there,
going
didn't
to say,
it?
what did they come?
They have different scarves on now. They have to
Parades are
change it
so
up.
wonderful, and oftentimes we'll be around young people that are like in their 20s, and we'll say something about, well, were you in the teddy bear parade? Oh yes, I did it with my dance group. I did it with school, and
the scout
my
group,
daughter's
whatever.
been in it.
Yeah.
My granddaughter's been in it, and will be again this year. And it's just a real family tradition around here.
Working on third generations.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
I think a lot of people in the area, that was the first parade they were ever in, or the first parade they ever saw.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very fun. And it's low key, and it's casual, and it's fun, and so the money that you make is from your sponsors. Like
That is
Weston.
correct.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And we have big sponsors and we have little sponsors
Right.
too. So it involves a lot of different people that support us. And besides the Live Your Dream, it goes to the Dream It Be It program, which is a program we have in local high schools that help girls that are juniors and seniors with career planning and helping them learn and realize they can dream and they can have a career, and that there are people that will support them.
And I know I was involved with that the one year that we did that, the first year I think that we did it, and helping to mentor some of those girls that had come from some pretty difficult backgrounds. Some of them did, and not necessarily thinking they had a lot of options, and realizing that, you know, everybody goes through something in their life, and you can get through this, and there's people who care about you and will be happy to.
I was going to say they support you. There's somebody there to support you. There are other, you can look other directions for help.
And really thinking about the Seroptimists, you all support each other.
Well, yes,
Yes,
we do.
we do.
Yeah.
We do.
And just so people know, it is open to men now as well.
Oh, yes. I was
Yes.
going to say it says best for women, but men are also can be members of Seroptimist, and we would encourage them to, and anyone else who would be interested in becoming a Seroptimist. You can send us an email at sigresham at
Seroptimist.net.
At seroptimist.net. I've only been in the group for 42 years, and I still can't
you're one of the charter
remember.
members, aren't you?
I was one of the charter members. So anyway, we would encourage people to do that. The best way to find out about it is talk to a member, even maybe some of the newer members. I'm a little biased at this point, obviously, you know. So.
And I don't expect you to remember that email because they didn't have it when you were a charter member.
No,
there was no such thing as email then.
No, that's a little newer than that. Before we leave the Teddy Bear Parade, I just want to say one thing. We still are in need of volunteers in the community. From the community to help us man the barricades on the route. And so again, if you would check that our website, you could find out about the volunteer program. It's 5 hours out of your day starting at 7:30 that morning, and you're done by 12 or 12:30. And all you have to do is stand at a barricade.
And tell people no,
and
the street's closed.
Tell people that if somebody comes along in a car that they will have to turn around because there's a parade in progress. And it's a great morning. It's usually a beautiful morning. We've only had a couple years where we wished that we weren't having a teddy bear parade because it rained so hard, but otherwise
I've
it's
never
been beautiful.
been in one that was, I mean, we had a little
2
bit
years
of sprinkle,
ago.
but nothing, no big deal. And the thing with volunteering on something like that is, if you're active at all in the community, you're going to see somebody you know. So you're standing there, you're talking to people, and even if you don't know them, you can be friendly and learn, meet them. So it's kind of a fun. It's a fun thing to be involved in.
Thank you if you do contact us. We really appreciate it.
Okay. Sounds good. So the Teddy Bear Parade is on Saturday, September 28th.
Correct.
At 10 a.m.
It starts at 10 a.m. from Miller and from East Hill Church on Miller and 5th, and it goes down to 2nd, and then around the downtown area of Gresham.
I think you have a map on the website.
Oh
too.
yes, there's a map on the website. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's historic downtown Gresham.
Historic downtown Gresham.
So when you're done with the parade, stick around and do some shopping in downtown Gresham. Buy local, try local.
There's a lot of
And downtown Gresham's really cute. It's really, really cute. People are surprised if they haven't been here. People, that parade I think brings out a ton of local people. Like you said, the third generation, and I think that's great. But if people come in from out of town, I mean, the Max line is right down the street. You can, ride the Max and get off, walk a couple blocks, and you're there.
Really, you would get off, and it would be about 3 blocks that you would have to walk to watch the parade.
So
many of those downtown businesses support us too.
Yes, they do.
They're very nice, and they also put up with the roads being closed.
That's right, they put up with all these people. So what's the biggest challenge in organizing this? Is it getting the volunteers?
Just that, organizing it.
The whole thing?
There are so many pieces. You do not realize until you start doing this exactly how many pieces there are. And yes, when it gets down to this point, it is volunteers, making sure you have enough volunteers, making sure everybody knows what they're supposed to do at the time and that sort of thing. And every year you lay awake the night before, or maybe 2 or 3 nights before, and think about, I hope it goes okay. And every year, for some reason, it seems to come off just fine. And if something went wrong, nobody knows but those of us behind the scenes.
Well, I've heard you talk before about the things you've learned, like don't put the horses in front of a marching band. Something like that.
Yeah, I think they did that one year.
Yeah.
I wasn't chair that year.
Yeah, we're careful about where the animals are,
Yeah,
where the
yeah,
bands
yeah,
are, and
yeah.
you know,
So-
all of those things that has been learned
Right.
over the years, and we.
If you want to be in the parade, you still have an opportunity to register. Registration is
16th.
is September 16th, the deadline for it. And you know, we'd love to have you in the parade. We'd love to have you along the route. And, you know, just
it's really fun.
It's a fun day. It really, really is.
So if people are interested in just coming to the parade, you know, bring your kids, bring your family. You can bring chairs if you don't want to sit on the curb.
Yeah.
And the one thing I would tell people that are in the parade, if you have a really, really young child, bring them on a wagon, or you're going to be in the parade, or bring them on a
Or you're going to be
or
carrying
something,
them for the
because
whole parade.
you know, it's not that long of a parade, but for little ones who have really short legs,
It's just
they get really
short of a
tired out.
mile.
Yeah,
is what it is.
they get really tired out, and so you know, to keep it from bottlenecking, or you know, those little ones they're adorable though.
Oh
They're
yeah.
really adorable.
They're what make the whole parade.
yeah.
They're
You
so
know,
cute.
all the little ones and that sort of thing. So. And you know, again, I just can't express enough how much we appreciate the partnership that we've built with the community on the fundraising piece.
Good,
Like
good.
Patricia said, we have sponsors from $100 on up.
Yeah, and in kind, like MetroEast, we videotaped
plus,
it for
that was my next
I
thing.
think 20 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have
So
a
if
lot of
you
in kind.
are out of town and you miss it, it will be on MetroEast channels in October, and then we'll also have it on your website as well.
Right.
And
Great.
Yeah, because it's September 28th, so October's
Yeah,
just
so it's
around
gonna be
the corner
October,
after
yeah.
that.
Right.
Not going on
Yeah,
before
that seemed like a long ways away.
Well, thank you, ladies, very much for being on here, and thanks for all the work you do in the community with Soroptimist and other projects. And I will look forward to seeing you on the 28th.
Thank
Thank you.
you so
Thank you,
much.
community.
Yeah, thank you, Metro.
Thanks for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mountain Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
Every week on Community Hotline, we highlight the great work of local nonprofits in our area. And now you can also see us on our live Facebook feed, 7 p.m. every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So tune in and find out what's going on in your community.
It is so important for me to have the right to be able to speak what I want to speak and talk about what I want to talk about.
If you start shutting this person up and shutting that person up and shutting this person up, that's not America.
Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now we're going to be talking about other media. This would be the Portland Latin American Film Festival, now in its 13th season. Welcome, Maria Sussman, my lisping is getting in the way, founder and director of the festival. It's good to have you back on the show.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be back here and for the opportunity also to share about the festival.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a really exciting season. There's a lot of good cinema out there, and a lot of it coming from all over the world, right? Tell us about the Portland Latin American Film Festival, how it got started, and what's your goal in starting this?
So I started the Portland Latin American Film Festival 13 years ago, 2007. So when I moved to Portland, I'm from Mexico City, I realized that there was a very big opportunity for screening films from Latin America. So I started this and it has been growing and it has been changing a lot. So we started like 3-day festival from Friday to Sunday, and we have been changing locations. Now our home for the last probably 8 years, it has been the Hollywood Theater in Portland.
Which is a wonderful venue.
Yeah, it's a very nice venue. It has also changed. It's a very old historic building, but what I like about it is that they have respected all the beautiful infrastructure of the building, but the sound is great, so they changed the
technical stuff has been upgraded. But
yes, the seats, everything. And the organization itself supports small organizations like us.
So they're a nonprofit as well.
They are nonprofit, yes. So for us, it's also easier to get donations through them. We are not a nonprofit, but they are. So we work together with them. So it has been a perfect fit for both of us.
Good. If you go to their website, you can find Portland Latin American Film Festival.
Yes, all our program, it's there.
Yeah.
So we have been screening films from Latin America. All our films are either Spanish or Portuguese. Most of them are in Spanish, but all of the films have English subtitles. Because our audience is like a mix between Spanish-speaker people and English-speaking people, so we want everybody to feel welcome.
Which is great, yeah, and it does make it easier. And then there's a lot of blended families as well.
Absolutely.
Where, you might speak Spanish, but it's not good enough to keep up with it, so having the subtitles helps, and vice versa. Yeah, that's a good plan. So how many films did you have? You had a 3-day festival when you started out. How many films were you screening at that time?
Probably like between 8 to 10 films. The second year, because the first year it was so successful, we brought probably 20 films. We duplicated the number of films, and we also had like 2 or 3 different locations. And then we realized that the community was still small, so we couldn't support all that. Selection of films.
A little too ambitious too soon.
Yeah, it was too ambitious. So we have been changing throughout the years, and recently, probably 5 or 6 years ago, we started having a monthly screening. So we start September 18th, and it goes from September through January of 2020. And so in that way, we give people the opportunity to go to the movies once a month and to see one different film. Because what happens if you, for a reason, are out of town that particular weekend, you will miss the whole thing.
Right.
So it has been working fine for us. And also one of the things that I'm very excited about is that we are bringing bringing films for kids and the families.
Right.
Because as you said, our communities now are more like a blended.
Right.
We have like, in my family, for instance, we have Spanish and English speaking, and my son is bilingual, so I want my son to be able to enjoy films from Mexico, where I'm from, and also learn more about the language and the culture. So that's why we want to bring films for kids to start with the younger audiences as well.
I appreciate that. We talked about that because I have a bilingual granddaughter who, you know, her father's from Ecuador, so and mom speaks Spanish too. So, but this, you know, she's bilingual. She's, you know, only 4, but she would love some of these films. So I'm really excited to take her to some of the children's films that you have. And you know, with most children's films, there's enough in them that it's entertaining for the adults.
Exactly.
You know, it's not like it's not like watching a Saturday morning cartoon or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that because that's exactly what the kind of films that we are bringing, that are not just like cartoons for little kids, but there are films that are really well done and also make you think.
Right, and it provides dialogue. It's something for you to talk to your kids about, and you know, get them to. Well, what do you think about this? How do you think that person handled that, or you know, whatever, depending on their age. I think that's really a great thing. And once a month is wonderful. If you can't go to all of them, you know, you go to the ones you can. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, you don't have to go to all of them every month.
Yeah.
So pick and choose if you need to. So. This year, you're on September 18th is your kickoff, and you've done this. I don't know if you've done it every year, but you're bringing in often the director or somebody involved in the film. So tell me about the kickoff on September 18th.
Okay, so the 18th of September at 7:30 at the Hollywood Theater, we have the premiere of the Mexican film, The Mongolian Conspiracy. It's a dark comedy. It's really funny.
Yeah.
And it's based on a novel by the same name, The Mongolian Conspiracy. And the director, a Mexican director, Sebastián del Amo, is coming to introduce the film and talk about all the challenges doing this film and about his experience, just like in the film industry. And I'm very excited about that. It was very challenging to bring him, but he finally accepted the invitation, and he's going to come to talk to the audience. So if people go, I really suggest them to stay until the end of the film, because there's going to be the opportunity to have the Q&A session. And after that, we also are going to have a party. And I don't know if I can mention the name of the place, but it's in our program. It's at Hey Love. It's a beautiful place.
Right there in the Hollywood district, right? Is that close by?
Kind of. It's in Southeast on Burnside. So people can look the information in our website. And we are going to have like DJs, so we can talk and meet people. And it's going to be a nice opportunity because we want to create community. It's not just about watching films. It's also about having the opportunity to interact with others, to talk about the films and maybe meet more people. And just like also, if you don't like the film, also you have the opportunity to tell the director, right?
Tell them what you think.
So yeah, that's the idea, to create the community and start conversations as well.
And some of these films are very much conversation starters. If I'm not mistaken, there are some that are somewhat political in nature. There are some that are, you know, comedies. There are some, you know, you kind of have a little bit of everything. We were talking about another one where you have one of the actors in the.
Well, for the closing night, we are having a Mexican actress. This is the first time that we have an actress coming, and I'm very, very excited about that, because we usually bring only the directors. But this time I wanted to bring an actress. And this lady, her name is Paulina Gaitán. She plays the main role in the movie Souvenir. And I particularly like this film because it talks about a topic that is not very common. No, that's not her.
No, that's not her. Oh, okay,
that's a different film. That's a very
that one's
good
Song
film.
Without a Name.
That movie is from Peru.
Okay.
And so the movie that she's coming here, it's Souvenir, and that movie talks about surrogacy. So it's a topic that people don't talk about much in Mexico, and probably it's the first movie that talks about that. Like, is this young lady who has some financial problems, so she has. The only solution that she finds to face the problem that she's living is rent her belly.
So she's going to become a surrogate mother for the money and then deal with everything that goes along with that.
In the meantime, you see like different stories, and at the end the movie has like a very interesting twist. So I really like the way Paulina Gaitán interprets this character. She's very young, she's just 27, and she has become very popular in Mexico and in Latin America because now she is in like 2 TV shows. I think one of them is like from Netflix, the Narcos series, and another one by Amazon Prime. Diablo Guardian is the name in Spanish, and I believe the name in English is the Guardian Devil. So it's very interesting story, and yeah, she's coming the 29th of January for the closing night, and we are going to have also a party. But in between the opening and the closing,
there's all sorts
we have in total like 9 different titles. This year, most of our films come from Mexico because we realize that the production in Mexico now, it has been growing. There are a lot of good films, and they were more accessible for us also to bring them. And it just happened naturally. We didn't plan it that way, but it just happened naturally. So the movie that we have for the kids, and that's the one we were talking about before we came here, is Ana y Bruno, and I think we probably are going to
trailer for that.
Have the trailer.
We can go ahead and watch that now if you'd like to.
That would be nice.
Yeah, because that looks like, so if you have children, let them, take a look and see if you think this is something that they'd like. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, roll it.
¿Tú quién eres? Yo soy Ana.
Bruno, amor.
Hola, Manu. ¿Por qué puedo ver seres imaginarios, mamá? Estoy loca.
No, ¿cómo crees? Tú eres una niña. Es diferente.
I think I love it already. That's great. That looks really
it's just
fun.
a little example of what people can see in the festival.
I love it. That's great. That's fun. Yeah, I would love that. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, looking at your list of your films, there's some really, really interesting ones, some really good ones here. So yeah, go check out the website and check out all the sponsors that help you. That's you can't do it without help from the community.
Of course, we are very thankful for all the support that we have received for our sponsors. That shows a lot of how can I say this? Like love for what we do, right?
Yes. I think that American audiences are becoming more accepting of foreign films, and from Mexico especially. I think there's been a lot of really good stuff come out in the last few years, and people think, oh yeah, I don't have to understand Spanish to be able to enjoy these films, and it's that's a good thing. And for example, the Academy Awards last year, a woman who was up for an acting award in what's the name of that movie? I can't remember the name.
Yalitza Aparicio?
No, it was a one word.
Roma?
Yeah,
the movie Roma.
Yeah. That's people are saying, oh, yeah.
Alfonso Cuarón. Yeah, he has won probably 2 or 3 times.
Yes,
an Oscar.
Yes.
So, yeah, there are definitely lots of talent coming from Mexico, and now are more visible around the world.
Share the wealth. Yeah. And that's a good thing. So, we just have a few minutes left. Can you tell me what's your background? Do you have a background in film, or Were you a director or an actor? Or?
So basically, I studied communication in Mexico. So I worked for different newspapers in Mexico City, but I used to write for economics, like finance, commerce, things like that.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Portland, I started a new career. So I decided like to do something that I feel very passionate about, and films are part of like the communication world.
It is, right.
And so that's how I started doing this. And I have a very big passion about films, and I grew up in Mexico City, where we have film festivals from all over the world, and so I was exposed to all those kind of films. So I wanted to share that here to the Portland audiences, because I also believe that through films you can enjoy more the world that you live in, and also you can understand other cultures. We can like celebrate our differences.
And that's what we should be doing. Break down some of those barriers. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now that is divisive, and you know, sharing your culture and way of life, you know, through film, it's a great way for people to understand where other people are coming from, and to, you know, put themselves in their shoes, and I think it's important. So I appreciate the work you've done, and I'm glad that you're going on. You know, this is 13 years. That's a pretty big deal. Did you ever think when you started out you'd be doing it again?
No, I never thought about
13 years
that.
later.
I don't even know what's going to happen in the future, but I really believe that this should continue with or without me, because I think there's a lot of people who enjoy films, especially now that I'm a mom. I want my son to become totally bilingual and also appreciate the wealth that is in the world.
And that's a great way to get your children, get your children to understand their own culture or other people's culture is through film, because you know, who doesn't like a good movie?
Yeah,
right?
we learn a lot through movies.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much, Maria. I really appreciate it. And I will be seeing you at some of these films later this year. And thanks again for being on Community Hotline.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Do check out their website, the Hollywood Theater website, and find out about the Portland Latin American Film Festival, and maybe we'll see you there. I'm Monica Weitzel. We'll see you next week on Community Hotline.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mountain Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.